Hey everybody, I am back with some late breaking Stephen King news. This week he appeared on the Talking Scared podcast, of which I will put the link in the description. It's about an hour long, really interesting listen. He sounds a little bit raspy in the voice. I don't know, maybe he's got a cold or something, but the conversation is really good. The interviewer is really, really good. So I highly recommend checking that out. And the highlights of the podcast were shared on the long running, legendary Stephen King related website, Lilia's Library. So, what we learned from the podcast and from Lilia was that there was a recent story that apparently maybe was intended or could have been in You Like It Darker, but was left out. That story is The Music Room, and Stephen King said it may show up as a bonus in the paperback, the upcoming paperback version of the collection. So that could be a reason to pick that up. Keep your eyes out for that. He did confirm, and the title of this is a little bizarre to me. So maybe this isn't the final title, but he did confirm that his next book will be called Always Holly. So this year we got, or late last year, we got Holly, and next year, or this year at some point, the next book will be Always Holly, and then perhaps Forever Holly, and Holly's here, get used to it. I don't know. But the next book will be Always Holly, and it will feature Holly as a bodyguard for a woman who is being stalked. So in the breaking news video I did about 10 months ago, he had talked about that the next book or an upcoming book would feature Holly, but he said that there would be multiple characters, multiple plot lines, and that it would be a long book. So perhaps it'll be more along the lines of The Outsider, where Holly is, I mean, a featured character, but maybe not the only featured character. I wasn't such a big fan of the book Holly from last year, although I am always excited and optimistic about any future Stephen King book. So we shall see. From my calculation, Holly has either been featured or completely starred in 6 books so far, and Always Holly will be her 7th, which is not as many as Roland and Randall Flagg, but she's entering that rarefied air of one character that gets featured over and over and over. I know that she's not everybody's favorite character, but obviously Stephen King is all in with Holly. Stephen King also said in the podcast that when he was asked about the Dark Tower series, he said that Roland's main story is done. So I believe that that is something that people have known and accepted for some time, although some diehards absolutely refuse to admit that the series itself, like that will never go back to Midworld and to that universe that Stephen King created. And even he himself, by saying that Roland's main story is done, potentially leaves the door open for some supporting and ancillary stories that are featured, maybe take place in the world along the lines of The Wind Through the Keyhole. One thing that's been rumored for years and years is a standalone novel that features the Battle of Jericho Hill, which would of course be fascinating and really, really exciting. But if the main story is done, that would seem to imply that if this book, to me, that implies that if this book ever is created, it may be yet another Roland telling a story that is a flashback along the lines of Wizard and Glass and The Wind Through the Keyhole. So we shall see. He did go on the record as saying Roland's main story is done, but I know he's told others and in other venues that there will, or at least may be, more Dark Tower to come. So we will see. but that is what he went on the record as saying. And also from the breaking news, 10 months ago, it was much closer to the time that Peter Straub had passed away. And Stephen King did say that Peter Straub had sent him an idea for a third Talisman book, a third Jack Sawyer book. So apparently Peter Straub had been working on that toward the end of his life, and he sent it on to Stephen King. And it was very much like, well, we'll see what happens. 10 months ago. But this week, he did say that he has reread The Talisman, and that he plans on rereading Black House, and he will see if it leads him to writing Talisman 3. So that's big news for fans of that classic series. It's more concrete news than we've had. Of course, even with Peter Straub's idea, if the muse doesn't move within him, if the inspiration doesn't strike, then Talisman 3 most likely will never happen. But I am sure, like all of you, I am hoping, of course, that it does. So yeah, that's exciting stuff. If you're not a regular checker-inner with Lilia's library, you definitely should be, because it's also really fascinating, and it's a treasure trove that goes back literally 2 decades, all about Stephen King news and trivia and really interesting tidbits. So I will put the link to that website in the description for the video as well. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about the upcoming seventh book in, I want to say, just over a decade, to feature Holly Gibney. Are you thrilled about this? Are you sick of Holly? What say you? And also, let me know your thoughts about Talisman 3. Are you super stoked? Are you a little bit nervous about this? I know a lot of people love Talisman, are kind of lukewarm on Black House. I was the exact opposite. Lukewarm on Talisman. I think Black House is a masterpiece. And based on the nature of how Black House ends, I understand that the third book would be mostly probably set in the territories, which would be actually really cool and exciting. So I'm sincerely looking forward to that. But as always, today Stephen King was hard at it, got his words. Tomorrow he'll get more words. The day after that he'll get more words still. And as long as he keeps writing, I think the world is a better place to live in. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments. As always, I so appreciate your support. I appreciate your viewing, your time, if you've subscribed to the channel, I very, very much appreciate that. We just passed 1,000 subscribers on SK First Editions, and I'm just stoked. This has grown way beyond my wildest dreams when I first set out on this path. And I'm very grateful to all of you who come back week after week and chime in and let me know what you think about the things that I talk about. It's a highlight of my week. But anyway, until we meet again, wherever you are, take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you later. Bye.